So one of the hardest things for us as independent journalists and, people that I guess we consider it our duty to investigate, to share, to do commentary, to look into things, to push back. That's our main job, is to push back. But we got to get the information. And a lot of times when we're talking about the genocide in Gaza, a lot of times we get overwhelmed with so much footage coming out of there, so many horrible, horrible things that Israel's doing, so many things not being reported. It gets overwhelming. And a lot of times, we'll be asked by naysayers. We get attacked personally. I get attacked on my own Facebook feed. They don't know about the show. They don't watch our show for sure. They don't watch this, even though I got it streaming right now on my private Facebook page. It's funny because if they see it, they are kind of forced to see it for a few seconds. They like to ask, give me one example. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys an example of one of the most horrible things you could possibly imagine an IDF soldier could do when they stream. They stream from Gaza. They stream to their followers. We've seen some horrible stuff. I'm going to play you this. And then after that, when you're angry like me, when you're effing furious that they're getting away with this and no one's reporting on it, then I'm going to show you a pushback. And this is just one of many, many, many. But I think it's important to start this segment with something that really pisses us off. And then we're going to get to the loudest voice of the week. Here is some Israeli soldiers who are posting themselves on their social media having a barbecue in the ruins of Rafah. And their friends back home and followers are just delighted, and they're gloating. And the gloating is over the Palestinians who are starving to death right in front of them, and they're having a barbecue. One of so many. This was one of so many. And it's a reminder that our media is against us. Our politicians are against us. Our Bernies and AOCs and Rachel Maddow's, and the list is long of people that pretend they're reporting facts and being honest. They're against us and they won't talk about this. So where does that leave us? That leaves us, we have to be the ones with the voices. We have to be the ones to speak out, and we have to put ourselves on the line to do it, as we've seen a lot of college students do. And they're not quitting, even with all the punishments, all the arrests, all the they've been expelled from their campuses. And then you have a valedictorian, and this is the time of year where school years are ending and graduations are happening. And in this case, I'm going to play for you guys a student at NYU. His name is Logan Rozos. And he's giving a speech at his graduation where he denounces Israel's genocide in Gaza. And the applause he gets is unbelievable. And what he's doing is going against what he was told not to do. So he is protesting his own campus. He's protesting a genocide. He's doing something here that he was told not to do, but he's going to do it anyways. And listen to the room erupt. Here he is, Logan Rozos, denouncing the genocide in Gaza at his graduation speech.
Freaking out a lot about this speech, honestly. And as I search my heart today in addressing you all, my moral and political commitments guide me to say that the only thing that is appropriate to say in this time and to a group this large is a recognition of the atrocities currently happening in Palestine. I want to say that the genocide currently occurring is supported politically and militarily by the United States, is paid for by our tax dollars, and has been live streamed to our phones for the past 18 months, and that I do not wish to speak only to my own politics today, but to speak for all people of conscience, all people who feel the moral injury of this atrocity. And I want to say that I condemn this genocide and complicity in this genocide. Thank you to the class of 2025, and congratulations.
So these are the kind of moments that I'm sure this kid Logan's going to look back at, and anybody who was in that room are going to look back at and say, not only was he on the right side of things, but he set an example of what courage looks like. And lo and behold, I know you guys probably aren't going to be surprised to hear that the student Logan Rozos had his diploma withheld for doing that by NYU. They've withheld his diploma, and they're threatening further disciplinary action. That's what he's dealing with right now, today, because this was yesterday. That's what he's dealing with. But that's the sacrifice of courage sometimes. And the reaction in that room tells you something. Tells you something that there's something more important going on right now than checking boxes for your college and your personal well-being, your personal career, that we have to sometimes sacrifice these things. Sacrifice relationships, sacrifice job opportunities. We all have to do it. We get on lists. We get punished. We get made examples of. So when we see that at a graduation speech at NYU and we see the response from the crowd, we know that there's still something good in our humanity, and particularly this younger generation. And whatever they do, besides they've already taken the diploma, but whatever else punishment, make an example of him, they're not going to take away this moment from him. They're not going to take away. This moment has been documented and shared and will be shared forever. They can't take away that. They can cancel him. They can punish him, expel him. I mean, I guess, it's graduation. So, but you can take away a degree, but you can't take away his experience and our experience, anyone's experience listening to that, not to mention the school itself. He got the education. He can do whatever he needs to do from here on out for himself. But that was the correct move. And this is the type of protest we need, because the people in power are not going to do it. Don't get your hopes up anymore for Trump declaring a Palestinian state. That's not happening. It's not happening. Bernie and AOC, Israel's got a right to defend itself. It's going to be that garbage from here on out, and that's all it's going to be. So this is all we have. So kudos to Logan Rozos for moment of courage, moment of truth. And that's why we needed to give him the bonus loudest voice of the week.